Hello and welcome to the Roughneck Minute, a Movies by Minute podcast where we go over the movie Starship Troopers 1 minute at a time. I'm your host Johann.
And I'm your other host Matthew.
And we are Minute Dalmatian, aka 101.
I didn't know where you were going at first, but that makes perfect sense. And it's awesome.
Yeah.
Like, what? Dogs? Oh, okay. Oh!
Yep. I like that movie. It's adorable.
The animated or the live action?
Animated.
I like them both.
Yeah. The live action isn't bad. I mean, it's got House on it, but it's the anime version just so cute, though.
It is, yeah.
Especially that fat little Dalmatian puppy. He's so cute.
Oh, I know.
He can't get into a lot of stuff or climb a lot of stuff, but he's cute.
He's just chubby.
Yeah. So anyways, this minute begins with Carl finally back and proving that he has rank over Johnny. And this ends with Johnny saying the Roughnecks are always ready. All right, so the reason why I think that this is kind of proving that that Carl has rank is it really shows that Johnny's saluting him, not just saluting each other. Like the line in what's it called, Band of Brothers, where you
salute
the rank, not the person.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what Johnny does. Like, he immediately knows that he's supposed to salute the rank. Because also, he does have different stripes on his shoulders here.
Yep, he's got bars.
Yep.
He's a colonel.
Yeah. Well, good for Carl. I mean,
yeah.
He really rose up in the ranks.
He could be in charge of his own company right now if he wanted to.
Yeah. Yeah, he probably could, but he probably I wonder if he's even in Games in Theory at this point anymore, or if he just oversees it.
I think he is in Games in Theory, or at least is high up in it, just because he is. He knew that there was a plan at least, or maybe he came up with a plan to check and see if there was a brain on P.
Yeah. So in the script, it's a little bit clearer that the reason why he thinks there was a brain was he says a colony has to reach a certain size before it produces a brain. We think 300 generations would have been too expensive to launch an operation if there wasn't a brain, which is why they just sent the Roughnecks. But so that's the assumption that it's already been over 300 generations of colonization of the bugs.
That's kind of like what the lady says in the Know Your Foe, or in the back and forth on the FedNet from before.
Yes. So, in the script, this is like right after they shoot Diz into space, and the difference is in the script was it's a pulse of light, so it's just like a cannon shot, so you don't really see that drifting thing and all that. So Carl approaches, and off recording, I told Matt, God, why does Carmen have to suck? So now I'm going to tell you what I read in the script. Carmen grabs Johnny and Carl by the hand and says, well, look at this. The three of us are back together again.
Oh my God.
You literally you are in a funeral.
You just got done with a funeral.
Yeah, and she's already giving googly eyes to Johnny, like she is. What's the name of that guy? I can't remember the character's name, but Will Ferrell in Wedding Crashers.
He goes to the funerals to pick up on chicks. Ma, meatloaf.
Yeah, just like this is like a moment of sadness. Like what?
She reminds me of the type of girl who would go to a funeral and then during the final moments of the eulogy or whatever it was, she breaks out a flask of rum chata.
Yeah.
Like, do you want them? It's getting kind of boring.
Yeah. It's kind of lame. We can't have our phones out.
I can take so many selfies and Instagrams on this one. It's so nice. I get so many likes.
Yeah. Or she's the one that when she says a few words, she just talks about how the other person revolved around her life.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways.
Carmen does look like someone who would drink rum chata.
Yeah, possibly.
I mean, far be it for me to say that rum chata is bad. It's actually really good tasting. But there's a type of person who exclusively drinks rum chata.
Yeah, I think she's more of a wine cooler girl because that is the era.
Spritzers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Zima with like Mike's Hard Lemonade, like mixed together.
No. Don't bring me back to mid 90s drinks, please.
Yeah, I think that's what she would drink, like Mike's Hard Lemonade mixed with Zima.
And here I was at that time drinking Surge and Orbs.
Yeah. So because she still likes a Mike's Hard Lemonade, but she likes the way the bubbles play on her tongue. So she adds the Zima. Yeah, I know. Anyways. But so, when Carl says, he sees Johnny and he says, "I'm sorry, it had to be your unit on Planet P. The mission had a very low survival probability." Johnny says, "Bugs laid a trap, didn't they?" So, so Johnny's starting to get into it's like he's evolving from being the grunt.
Yeah.
So he's starting to understand that he does have to kind of see a bigger picture.
Yeah.
So that is kind of good. As we've stated, it seems like this movie evolves around Johnny's evolution through the ranks more so.
I'm actually at 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 26 seconds, and I'm looking at Johnny's rank on his shoulder, his pips.
Yeah.
There actually is a rank. I'm surprised to find this because, again, the Wikia for Starship Troopers is not very good, but...
He's a colonel?
He is not. He's still a sergeant.
Oh, okay.
So he got a promotion once he got back onto the ship. He's still a sergeant because remember they made him, or Razchek made him the acting sergeant.
Yeah.
And he's now still sergeant, so he got promoted. He's still sergeant right now. Carmen, it looks like she is a lieutenant.
Oh. She's just about to be ranked with Johnny in a moment.
So, well, no. So Space Fleet is lieutenant. In mobile infantry, she would be a captain.
Oh, okay.
So, with Deledier, she'd be on par with Carl right now because he's a colonel.
Okay. So here's one part that is kind of also funny, and it gave me a bit of a hint about Carl, where Carmen kind of chastises Carl for his judgment to send him to Planet P. Mm-hmm. Where she says, "You knew and you sent them anyways." And then Carl says, was it, "You don't approve? Well, too bad."
Yeah.
It makes me think that, like, first she says it, like, what she was basically trying to say. But something tells me that he psychically already knew her, like, everything that he needed to know based on what she said.
Well, I mean, if he didn't, that's what I'm thinking too. But even if he wasn't psychic, her face at 1 hour, 40 minutes, and 31 seconds tells it all. Like, oh, you don't approve? I can tell by the way you made that dumb face.
No. See, here's the. Okay, no, I'm going over the line. So, So when Carmen says that you knew and you sent them anyways, Carl says that. They couldn't afford to launch a what was that line?
An offensive?
Yeah, we couldn't afford to launch an offensive if there wasn't one, like a bug.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's quiet. He's just looking at her, and then he says, "Well, you don't approve?" It's like he knew what she was about to say. So that's what made me think that at this point he was psychically able to tune himself to human minds versus before he was just trying to talk to Cicero, the ferret.
No, that's for sure what it's supposed to imply, but I think the line is delivered a little too late, and her face makes that face way too early for it to make me think otherwise, other than like, oh, your face says you don't approve. Oh, too bad.
Yes.
Kind of thing.
Okay.
I know he's legitimately psychically thinking, like, hearing her say that she doesn't approve.
Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Well, that's just my theory, that I think that at this point it was supposed to start to hint that he can read minds more complex than a marmot. Is that a marmot? Is that what you... Or is a marmot... Okay.
It is a marmot, as we learned from The Big Lebowski.
Oh, yes.
They don't smell very good, apparently.
No. I've been around a cage of ferrets. It smells really, really bad.
Gross.
So here's one thing I also noticed about Carmen, especially in this movie. So when he starts to talk about where he has to make decisions that sends hundreds of people like you to their death, he looks way more gaunt and stressed than when he was in high school.
Yeah.
I think that was like... I think that's part of the idea of the character of why they tried to keep him hidden, is you weren't supposed to see the changes in his face and his appearance and just the way he acts overall. So when you finally got to the end of like him being he's a colonel at this point, correct? Colonel?
Yes, colonel.
Yeah, colonel.
Mm-hmm. I checked his insignia ranking as well too.
Okay. Then when he gets to the point of being a colonel, he's just he's just kind of already weathered with the fact that he's sent a lot of people to their deaths, and it's weighed so heavy on him already that it just kind of washes on him.
Yeah, exactly what I'm thinking, man. He's just got the weight of the world on him, and he looks it. It reminds me of the part in World War Z where the former vice president dude was talking, and he was saying, the president was very weary, and when victory was finally came, he died a couple days later.
Oh yeah, where it like the old line is what he called him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, because part of me thinks like it's not so much as the president or the vice president. He's starting to remind me of Redecker from World War Z.
Oh, even better, yeah, because that was more of he was 30 years old or like 35 years old, but he looked like 40 or 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I actually like that character.
Dude, yeah.
Where he's like, when you take away the heart, no soul, just all mind.
Mm-hmm.
Like, god dang. I need to re-listen to that the audiobook, because the guy that voices him is so good.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, he's on a standpoint where you cannot think about humanity or humans when you're thinking about humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That the initial plan is to, okay, who can we expend in order to save the human race? Like basically he starts thinking of plans of creating a human shield or bait for for the zombies. And this is exactly like what that type of character would be like.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you understand the implications of not the implications, once you understand the whole entire, bigger picture of everything, you really need, you put stuff into perspective really, really quickly. Yeah, in that one especially, as long as a few humans like lived in World War Z, they were fine as long as the human race survived. And that's kind of like what Elon Musk and everyone is talking about now. Like, as long as if we can colonize Mars and we can have humans on other planets, we'll still survive. Because if Earth goes down, we got nothing else at this moment.
Yeah, that thought's kind of scary, though.
It really is, but the thing is, too, like, I just hope... I mean, I already know that my name is on another planet because I put... I sent in a thing for my name to be on a probe going to Mars.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a text file, basically, but nothing too big. Even still, my name will live on in some form. And I just hope that if stuff does happen and we're all gone, like someday someone will find it and be like, oh, this dude, I wonder who he was.
Yeah. Well, you played a lot of space flying games. You really want to be in space.
I really do want to be in... Gosh, man. I just hope that either before I die, I can go up into space, low Earth orbit at least.
Yeah. Because imagine when they see your name and they're gonna do an ultra Google search, they're gonna come up with your Twitch stream of you playing Kerbal and Elite Dangerous a lot.
Yeah, and like I'm hoping like it's like the whole entire Ellen Ripley thing where she sees her daughter that looks like it's an old lady and everything,
No.
which was actually her daughter in the second movie was played by her mother.
Oh, really?
That's actually her mom in that picture.
Oh, that is so cool.
Right?
Man.
But yeah, I hope that someone would look me up, like either if it's like because like they're those whole entire ancestry things right now, like you can check your DNA and everything. I hope like my great grandchildren, you know, if they're living on like a moon colony or something, they'll look up, you know, my old Twitch stream and be like, huh, great grandfather wanted to go to the moon. What a weirdo. We're already here. It's boring. I want to go back on Earth.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, you know?
When I look up my name, it kind of comes up, but the one that's closest to my actual my actual real name, it's a there is a composer, which comes as no surprise to me.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also like a 14th century anarchist, which definitely surprises me. So I think that's what they're going to come up with whenever they search for me. So
yeah, unfortunately, you do have a common name with other people. So
yeah, so one of them's an exorcist healer. That one's kind of cool.
Yeah,
yeah. Claim. He shot to fame by claiming to heal thousands through the power of exorcism. Rad. Oh man, my name is so cool. So this after Carl starts to address Carmen's disapproving looks, even at like here right after Johnny says, "Didn't they tell you that's what the mobile infantry's for?" Basically, he's signing up the Roughnecks for another sortie.
Mm-hmm.
You can see Carmen like at 48. She doesn't seem happy that Johnny's about to leave again because he's going to be a man again. She doesn't like it that he's kind of thinking for himself now.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it just ends at that point where basically Johnny's signing up the Roughnecks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not a whole lot happening this minute, really.
No, not a whole lot. I mean, he's basically saying Roughnecks are always ready, and he's like, well, you know, he says, "I hope we're ready for more." Going back to B.
It's Johnny that says the Roughnecks are always ready in the script. So, but anyways, yeah, not a whole lot happens in this minute. You see that Carl has a posse that really doesn't say much, but they're all kind of dressed the same as him.
I think they're his entourage, honestly.
Yeah, because right where the minute ends, where you see all three of them, they're even lined up in order of height, which is really a weird way to sort yourself in an adult-like fashion.
So let me see real quick. I'm going a bit ahead just to see what rank these guys are, but I can really do it real quick. Because Carl, he's a corporal. I'm sorry, he's not a corporal. He's a colonel.
The one in the back seems to have the same tag on his collar. The ones to the far right and the one next to him, and the other one that's to the left. It might just be possibly the Shadow, but I don't see a similar one on him.
So I went ahead a little bit into the next minute. Don't hurt me or anything. But yeah, these are basically his entourage. These guys are all captains, and he's a colonel. So he's 2 ranks above them.
Okay, I wonder which one of them plays Turtle.
No, we're not doing that. One of them actually may be a lieutenant as well too, but the first 2 look like they're captains. So, and they'd be, they're definitely lower ranks, but they're his entourage. I guess they're his, his runner, his aide, and everything like that.
So one of them grabs a coffee, one of them grabs a bagel, one of them puts a schmear on for him.
Yeah, and one of them finds him a bacon sandwich.
Yeah, can't go wrong without that.
Yeah.
But Anyway, so with the script in tow, with like, jeez, why does she have to say this? Where Carmen's like excited that the three of them are back together again at a funeral. It just makes me think that with the script the way it was, it feels like she's the only one that hasn't mentally grown up from being in high school.
No, she hasn't.
Like she has the same ambition that she had, and she still wants more, which is fine. But it's just when you're more excited that everybody's back together again, other than the fact of what the context of everybody having to be together again is, it's pretty bad.
Yeah. She's script and deleted scenes. Carmen is a horrible person.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. She just can't get away from being a horrible person, it seems like.
Nope.
All right. So do you have anything else you want to add to this, Matt?
It's the end of the week, and it's not the end of the week unless you feel really, really bad about the universe as a whole and, want to be up in space. And also, it's not the end of the week unless you feel really bad and hate Carmen.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to agree with that. It is the end of the week, and after talking about the downer of wanting to live on a different planet.
Man. The gravity is like 20% less than what it is now here. So you'd be a little bit lighter.
Man.
It'd be cool.
Yeah. All right. So where can they find you, Matt?
You guys can find me at AltTabMatt pretty much anywhere on the internet. Instagram, Twitch, Twitter. See pictures of my son being silly and kind of goofy because he just learned how to do Ring Around the Rosie.
And you can find me on Twitch and Instagram at JDASHD26. You can also find me on Twitter at OMGItsJohann. You can follow the show on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and Podcast Addict. Please like and subscribe. Visit our website at theroughneckminute.podbean.com for show notes and back episodes. You can also follow us on Twitter at roughneckmin, M-I-N. You can continue the conversation for anything that you may want to bring up about this particular minute on the Roughneck Minute Billet, B-I-L-L-E-T. I've been your host, Johann.
And I've been your host, Matthew.
And we'll see you on the Bounce Troopers.
Sorry, I'm just looking up something real quick.
All right. Boobies?
New.
Oh, geez. You're wasting your time.
I know.